Good morning, we are live and this is the preamble for our morning movement snack. So 8 AM approaching on Thursday the 13th of August. We're glad it's not Friday the 13th, we don't like those too much, but Thursday the 13th is perfectly acceptable. It is a little cooler here in Leicestershire today. Hopefully you didn't have too much of a rubbish sleep last night. It was extremely hot, so it's wise to drink lots of water, take on plenty of fluids today, and try and keep moving the best you can. But sometimes it's just that bit uncomfortable, so do your best. That's what my mum always used to say. Do your best, Kelsey, and you'll be all right. Here we are, first few people coming on then. Say good morning, how you doing? Morning, Louise. You're up early. Oh, it's school, isn't it? School, not school for you, but it's school in Scotland now. They started back yesterday. That's why you're up. Plus the fact I do need to get a couple of case studies to you, don't I? Yeah. Okay, leave it with me. Morning, Mrs. Perry. You're second in today and George is third. Overcast in Cruden Bay, good, because hopefully that'll keep the sun, the direct sun, from beating down on you. Overcast and humid in Bristol as well, so poles apart, Cruden Bay and Bristol. We're probably going to be getting a bit more humid around here today, around Leicestershire. We were actually quite glad to be spending 4 to 5 hours in the car yesterday with the aircon blasting. Boy, when we got out it was like being in Cyprus or somewhere in 40-degree heat. Of course the 30 always feels like a 50, doesn't it, for us Brits? So other than having a bit of a hit and miss night's sleep, what's been happening? What's been happening with you? How you been doing? Trevor's in his garden. He's warming up already. Yeah, we might not need to do all that much circ boosts today for all three of our movement snacks. Diana said it's overcast in Somerset. Sheila's just a good morning for Sheila. Where's the rest of your gang, Sheila? They're normally hot on your tail, aren't they? So we've got a few, we might have a few noises of nature around here today. And I don't mean like snoring or anything otherly than that. I mean lots of pigeons, cats. Oh look, one of them's just about to go up the tree. There he is. Can you see him up the tree? There he is. Causing trouble. Up the fig tree. Ah, we've got Dublin in today as well, a humid Dublin. Good to have you on, Vanda. Great to have you. What you been doing? Across that little way there, that little bit of sea. Our 8 AM, of course, prepares us for our day. Thank you, George, 7:59. Hopefully gives us a bit of a wake up, shake up. It clicks and clunks us back into better posture, better alignment. Ah, I've got you, Sheila. Right, we've got a couple more people coming in. Bob's in. Me shed. Oh, I left that behind. I couldn't fit it in the car, Bob. Everything was kind of wedged into every available corner and little tiny crevice in the car, so I couldn't bring me shed. I've got 2 beach sheds though over there, look. Is this going round okay? Yeah, there's one and there's 2. My cute little beach huts. That's the best I can do. Oh goodness, Jane says it's cold in Edinburgh. And George says it's a go, go, go. Right, so Diana, you're in. Diana Ross, you make me think about the rabbit that's always late in, what is it? I'm late for a very important date. Anyway, I'm late for a very important date with the movement mission if I don't do the 3, 2, 1 any second now. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Good morning and welcome. Today is your 8 AM Wake Up Movement Snack with me, Kelsey Leverton, on Thursday the 13th of August. And remember, every movement minute matters here. So get your Snack Attack rucksacks open, your bag of movement minutes open, ready to receive the first 10, 12, possibly 15, it depends how much I give her this, doesn't it, of movement. So when you're ready, swipe the comments to the side if you haven't done already. Have a think about where you'd like to start your warming up from, so your circulation boosting. And let's get moving. Okay, so if you are in your chair today, lift and peel your back up and away from the support. Take a moment there just to lengthen through your posture. Take your shoulders back and down, and then hip hitch, hip walk yourself to the front portion, the front third of the chair. Again, just take a moment. Notice where your feet are. Notice where your hips are and how you're sitting over your hips. Think about the middle bit here, the shoulders, the neck, the head positioning. I'll leave you with that for a moment whilst we get sorted in standing. In standing, you might want your support to the side should you need to hold on to it. Alternatively, you might have something in front of you that you can rest your hands on should you need it. Either way, standing tall and even over both legs, 50-50 weight chair with right side, left side. Lifting up, lengthening through. Just taking a moment to realise those changes that you've just made. And cue moving. So if you like, begin with an arm swing. A steady paced arm swing. If you feel happy to get both arm swings going at the same time, then feel free. Otherwise, you might need to just change sides at some point so that we can get an even turn for right side, left side. The emphasis here is just getting the elbows a little bit further back and fixing at the elbows as well. So the movement through the shoulders starts to improve the warmth within the joints, with the warmth within the muscles around them. And over a minute or so, we can start to feel like we can make those movements perhaps a little bit bigger. Don't worry about faster, just make them a bit bigger, with the emphasis being the elbow back. Now we're going to move on to some leg movements, so some leg marches. So just take a pause there, take up some support wherever you have it for you, and start to bring in some heel lifts. So we're lifting up those heels, just keeping the ball of the foot down for now, pedaling the legs. So we've got a bit of a weight shift here in standing. In seated, not so much of a weight shift because all of our weight is being held over our hips. If legs, ankles, feet and toes on your radar at the moment, then take up a row with the arms. Or if hip walking is something that you're able to do, just take a few hip walks backwards and forwards in your chair, and then we will have some transfer of weight. Where are we? Here we go. Picking up the feet then now, if that's all right for you. If you feel a bit squished in the hip, then just bring it back down to the heel pump. But if you can, pick up, lifting and clearing the feet up and away from the ground. Have an extra point of your toes. As they lift, point them down. Same in standing. If you need to have a glance down, then do so just for a moment. Then reset your posture. Stack your head over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips, hips over your legs and feet, knees and toes. Got a nursery rhyme in there. Arms and legs moving together if that feels okay for you. Keep going. If you feel all right with that level that you're on and you want to just make the movements a bit bigger, so lifting the feet a bit higher away from the floor, the knees will be coming up higher as well. If you are doing that in seated, just take care not to throw your posture. Really work against the temptation to sink or lean backwards there. Alright, and take a pause. So we're going to head into our shoulder lifts and shoulder circles first. So loosening up with a lifting motion and then moving into a backward circle. In the standing, you might want to take up some support where you have something behind you that you lean on or that you stand quite close to. Should you overbalance, you'll just touch back to whatever you're leaning on. That way you can work both arms together. So arms long and loose by your side, lifting all the way up towards the ears, and taking a moment just to press the shoulders down, slide the shoulder blades down towards your back pockets, and you'll feel the neck lengthen just that little bit more there. Circling forwards, up, round. Here's the back squeeze and down part, which is really important to open up our posture. And the biggest and best movement you can do takes our shoulders through their fullest range of movement. And of course, range of movement is everything for when we are moving our arms in our day-to-day tasks. 3, 4 or 5 of those should do nicely. If you've lost count, 1 for good luck will do. Alright, take a pause there then. So here we are on our neck movements. So we'll do our chin tuck first. Again, in standing, have the support behind you, or just place one hand onto something either to the side or in front of you. We need our other hand, don't we, to just help guide this movement. So think about your neck. It's in its normal postural position at the moment, and what we're aiming to do is improve that by re-stacking the spine. Just take a pause on that full chin tuck just for a second, and then release back to your normal position. Eye line and chin level stay level, dead ahead. Try not to tuck down or tip up with the chin. And if this movement, oh, that's not a great look, is it? It's a good job. No one's in the garden, nobody's walking past the house, just doesn't matter. And this can help us to improve the mobility around our neck and set ourselves up in a better postural position for our head. And if we are more upright, our gaze improves. Head turns is next, isn't it? So do take up a little bit of support here in standing. When we put in any kind of head turn or trunk turning motions, then this can catch your balance. So move steadily through by glancing to one side, coming back to the centre, and just take a pause and a posture check. As you do this movement, people, just be mindful about what's happening with the rest of your body. The rest of the body ideally stays still, shoulders facing forwards and not joining in with part of the twisting motion. Keep going with that. Just take a pause and a posture in the middle, in seated or standing. Have a go at one more on each side. I think that's we'll call it a rough 5 on each side. So it's just enough to loosen the joints, to take it through its full range of movement, but without our areas getting too tired. Take a pause there then. Back into a bit of circ boost, everyone. So when you're ready, take up your positioning and support if you need it. Just bring in some arm marches and leg marches together. We're going to be heading into our trunk trio next. So just take a pause with feet, legs, and bring in 1 or 2, well, more than 1 or 2. Bring in a few arm rows in seated or standing. In standing, you're aiming to get the elbow back a little bit, and you may well just change your gaze slightly. And if that's happening, just be mindful of how you feel, steady on your feet. Do you need a bit of support? Do you need to perhaps widen your base of support to improve your stability? I don't know, it's up to you. Here's just a few ideas. Take a stop there. Right, trunk twist then. So in seated, couple of things we can do with arms. Fold them across the body, or you can take one arm across to one leg, the other hand loose by your side, and then twisting and glancing before coming back to the centre. It's up to you. If your hand is on the opposite leg, try not to be pulling yourself around. Just let the body turn to where is natural for your body. In stand, feet a bit wider. Get down into those knees a little bit. Soften the knees, hips forwards. Without support, if that feels okay for you. So I'm twisting the body first, then glancing over the shoulder before pausing and posturing in the middle. If you're holding on to support, here's my imaginary support, reaching across and taking the arm back to begin the movement through the trunk. Take a second just to have an extra glance over your shoulder. Quite often trunk movements, twisting motions like this are accompanied with a change of gaze as well. The bends. We're heading into the bends now. So in standing, here's your options. With support in front of you, knees soft, weight even over both feet. Same in seated, but more weight over your sit bones. Fingertips just along your leg and sliding down the seam of your trousers or your pyjama bottoms. Again, here we have a pause and a posture in the centre, and the lower body stays still as possible here. Try not to be pushing your hip out in standing, and keeping the weight even. Oh, I'm going to go off screen now. Keeping your weight even over your sit bones as you take a tilt from side to side. You might feel a bit of lengthening on the opposite side that you're bending to as you go through your trunk twist. Side bend. Make sure you're even on both sides, people, and then we'll move on to our third, that's not right, is it? Third, which is back extension. Now here, people, you might want to have your hands in standing on something in front of you. Sometimes going in a backwards motion can catch our balance as well. The position of our head is crucial in this as well, to keep our chin tucked in and our gaze ahead. So here we go with lifting and lengthening. Lengthen a bit more if you can, and then put a little tilt on the end backwards. Be mindful not to stick out your bottom as you arch. Try and keep your hips tucked under and your knees soft throughout. So lifting up, holding on to support, chin is down. So we're kind of reusing the chin tuck position that we did a few minutes ago in our top trio. Here's seated, so hips tucked under, pulling right up through your middle. Pause and a posture, stand, reset before heading into another one. About done, 3, 4 or 5. It's almost too easy to straighten up the legs sometimes, but keep the knees soft. That way you're not putting any rigidity into the body. It's easier to sink down and ground your positioning here with the knees soft. Alright, we're going to head into our ankles, feet and toes moves then. So if you want to, just for a moment, just tap in the toes. This might be a bit tricky to do in standing, but if you can, just do a few toe taps. trying to lift the toes as high as you can, and then let's do a few heel taps as well. So we're going to take it through a bit more of a range of motion than what we're able to do here. If you like, you can take your hips all the way back into the chair, so you're a bit more supported with your posture, and you've got a lift and a point and a pull back on the end. Take a moment really to extend through the top of the foot, pointing away with the toes and then pulling back. If you're in seated and you're happy with your posture in the front third of the chair, toes and a heel, sitting up tall, shoulders are relaxed there. 4 or 5 of those. And in standing, we don't want this to be a balance challenge, so do take up some support with your standing leg nearest to whatever you're holding on to. And this is a really light tap, toes down, really pointing down, really pulling them up, but no weight going through. We've got all of our weight through our standing leg. If you've got shoes on, take a moment to really try and move the toes in the shoes. Morning. And take a pause there. Alright, so that's your movement mission done for this morning. I hope that was good for you. A little bit windswept now, look at that. Leicester is out of its lockdown, so there might be a haircut coming soon. Yes! But then again, I hadn't cut my hair for about 6 months before lockdown, so yeah, normal day for me, all this lockdown hair business. Anyway, people, less of me jibber-jabbering on. More of you going out to deploy all of those functional movements into your day-to-day life. Hopefully, some things you may notice are getting easier. You may have a bit more stamina, you may have a bit more strength and feel steadier on your feet. Flexibility might be improving, along with joint mobility, which is the key thing that we work on in this morning movement snack. So, soldiers of movement, go into your day. Be strong, think about your posture, and we'll see you at 12. Then at 4. Catch you later.